Um, Mr. Ravindra Singh, what do you think is India's advantage? I mean, I understand that if we are going to go digital, we must have our own data centers and not depend on outside countries for, any disaster recovery or any sort of backup plan. What are our unique capabilities that make us ripe to probably become the global hub for data centers?
See, data center is a very capital intensive business. As you just heard, it requires huge land, huge buildings, huge capital investment. But more than that, what it requires is technical efficiencies. Now, India, we all know, and it's globally proven, and we don't have to reiterate it, that we are number one in terms of technology today, in terms of availability of workforce, availability of skill set in this country, and availability of fresh graduate engineers from this country. Now, that is one big advantage what India provides when it comes to setting up data centers. The other thing about India is that being such a huge country, data is the center of this whole core. The data generated in India is much higher than any other part of the world, except maybe China. So when we have so much of data, and data is the oil today, data is the currency today. If you are able to control your data, if you are able to manage your data, if you are able to safeguard your data, then you are one of the topmost economies, and that's what India is going towards. We already entered the top 4 economies of the world, and now by next 3 to 4 years we'll be top 3 economies of the world. And data is going to play a very, very big role. Number 3, when it comes to availability of resources, I'm not talking about human resources, like energy is one of the biggest factors in data centers. Though we still don't have, I won't say we are a surplus energy country, but the kind of resources available with us, the solar as well as other traditional resources, we can become. So when we have so much of energy availability and we can channelize it, right? We have so much of workforce availability, we have so much of land availability, and we have so much of data availability. I think no other country can provide that kind of benefit or that kind of advantages than India having data center. We can actually call it the data center capital of the world in a couple of years.
All right, so that's where we are headed. But very quick question to you then, Mr. Singh. You mentioned energy. Now, data centers are also big guzzlers of energy and water. Yes. They produce this noise, so they must be away from where humans are staying. Is there enough attention right now in India on making them sustainable? I mean, in the coming week, we have leaders meeting in Egypt for COP27 for this critical discussion on climate change. Do you think there's enough focus on making them sustainable for the long term?
The focus is there, but I won't say that we have reached that stage. But as you said, let me also correct one thing. Our last 2 decades, I have been developing and designing data centers since 1998. And let me tell you that today's data center is much more quieter, much more efficient, and much more better when it comes to energy. We use a terminology in data center. It's called PUE, power efficient utilization efficiency, which is the efficiency of power which we consume in data center. And in last 1.5 decade, that has improved a lot. Today we are able to offer a PUE of 1.3 to 1.4 to our customers, which means we are at least 50 to 70% more efficient in consuming energy than we were 15 years back or 20 years back.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yes. Only one thing I should, since you asked this question, efforts are there, but there is a lot to be done on utilizing solar for data centers.
I would agree.
There are efforts going on, but if we can do that, then nothing can beat us in terms of efficiency and in terms of energy utilization.